Okay, so we did Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 5, the glories of Lord Nityanand Balaram. We'll start with text 223, 223. Everybody there?
Yep.
Okay. Jar Madhuri te kare Lakshmi Akarshan, Rupa Gosai Karya Chhe se Rupa Darshan. Translation. The goddess of fortune is attracted by his sweetness, which Srila Rupa Goswami has described in this way. Purport. Who wants to read the purport?
Prabhuji, which one you read?
223?
23.
223. 223.
Some confusion is there.
Okay. Correct me.
Text number 2.
223. 2.
223. 223. Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Everybody okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Okay. All right. So who would like to read the purport?
I can read, Prabhu.
Okay, go ahead.
Sri Rupa Goswami in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita has quoted from the Padma Puran, where it is stated that Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, after seeing the attractive features of Lord Krishna, was attracted to him. And to get the favor of Lord Krishna, she engaged herself in meditation. When asked by Krishna why she engaged in meditation with austerity, Lakshmi Devi answered, I want to be one of your associates like the gopis in Vrindavan. Hearing this, Lord Shri Krishna replied that it was quite impossible. Lakshmi Devi then said that she wanted to remain just like a golden line on the chest of the Lord. The Lord granted the request, and since then Lakshmi has always been situated on the chest of Lord Krishna as a golden line. The austerity and meditation of Lakshmi Devi are also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.16.36, where the Nagapatnis, the wives of the serpent Kalya, in the course of their prayers to Krishna, said that the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, also wanted his association as a gopi and desired the dust of his lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna. So this is the very, very interesting verse. The purport is getting into things that should be understood well before any misunderstanding. So here's Mother Lakshmi. Who's she consort of? Who's Mother Lakshmi consort of?
Vishnu. Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Vishnu.
And somebody else too?
Now we have like Narasimha Bhagwan.
Oh, so yeah, all of them. Yeah,
All of them, yeah.
And Lord Narayan as well. So the different expansions, different Lakshmis, who are all expansions of the Radha. Right? We're okay so far?
Yes.
So Lakshmi ji wants the association of Lord Krishna, just like the gopis do. And Krishna says, no, we can't have that. What's the reason? Why is Krishna saying, I reject you? Even though in my expansion as Vishnu, Nrsimhadev, Narayan, you my wife, I reject you as my Krishna, Krishna's associate.
Because gopis are very important to him.
So,
more than anything.
So,
More than anything.
Is it her mood?
what?
Is it her mood? Her mood is of awe and reverence.
Keep going. You're on the right track. Keep going.
And she's not surrendered to Krishna or has the same bhav that the gopis do?
She surrendered to Krishna, all right. That's not the issue.
Okay.
But you're so close to the answer.
Prabhuji, maybe because Lakshmi ji, we always see that she massages his feet. So that's another limb of bhakti. But gopis do prema bhakti and they don't accept him as the supreme lord, but Mother Lakshmi does.
Yes.
So that is why.
So that is maybe one real reason, but it's not the real reason. You guys are all so close, so think a little bit more out of the box. Why is Krishna rejecting her association?
Because to do Braja Bhakti, she should submit to Radharani and the gopis, and
That's it. That she has to surrender
Yes.
gopis and to Radharani. And she's saying, I'm Lakshmi. What do you mean I have surrendered these cowherd girls? Krishna saying, well, sorry. That is why she did not get the entrance into the Ras Leela. It was not allowed. Sorry, not allowed. Pravesh Nisheth. No entry. Okay, so this is why he's saying your mood is different. You will not surrender to the gopis. And anybody who does not surrender gopis does not get my association. You get my association as in my form as Narayan, Sringadeva, Vishnu, and all the other incarnations. Every other incarnation has Lakshmi with them, but not as Krishna. So she said, okay, fine. I know I'm in the mood of omnivorous and I know I cannot surrender to the gopis, but at least can I become this line on your chest that is very close to your heart? I say, yeah, you can do that. But that's in the mood of neutrality. The line is not doing any mellows. It's not doing any pastimes. It's just there, totally mood of neutrality.
But that line is not on Krishna.
Yeah, it right here says it's on Krishna.
It's on Krishna.
The chest of Lord Krishna has a golden line.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, when Krishna is Vrindavan, it's not visible. Every once in a while you see it. Typically, it's not visible. But once he goes out of Vrindavan, it's visible.
Okay.
But it's there.
It's so confusing, Prabhuji, because, you know, all the gopis, I mean, not all the gopis, like all the Lakshmis are also expansion of Srimati Radharani, right?
Yeah.
But they still don't have, like, it's just so confusing, like how
It's the mood.
they don't, it's the mood, yeah.
It's the mood. The mood is different.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
The sun is a
So-
great teacher of life.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, Usha, go ahead. Can you put your video
So-
on? It's just so it's a little easier.
I am driving, Prabhu.
Oh,
Sorry.
you can. Okay, no problem.
Going home.
Go ahead.
Going home. So, isn't it the best thing to just lie on Krishna's chest? What one could want?
No, but there's no mellows though. There's no pastimes. There's no hasi majak. There's no dancing. There is no chit chat. There's no teasing each other. There's no playing with each other. So it's still better than what we have. No question about that.
Yeah.
But it's not the best.
Yeah.
It's not the top. Right? To answer your
Okay.
question.
Thank you. Yes.
Anybody else? Okay, let's move on to 224. 224. इसमें राम भंगित्रे परिचितां सची विस्तीर्ण दृष्टिम इन्यस्ताधर किशालयाम उज्ज्वलां चंद्रकेन गोविंदाख्याम हरितनुम इतः केशी तीर्थोपकंठे मां प्रेक्षिष्ठास तव यदि सखे बंधु संगे अस्तिरंगः. Translation. My dear friend, if you are indeed attached to your worldly friends, do not look at the smiling face of Lord Govinda as he stands on the bank of the Yamuna at Keshighat. Casting sidelong glances, he plays his flute to his lips, which seem like newly blossomed twigs. His transcendental body, bending in three places, appears very bright in the moonlight. So let's read the purport, then we'll discuss this verse. Another wonderful verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Who would like to read this?
I can read.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a verse quoted from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.239 in connection with practical devotional service. Generally, people in their conditioned life engage in the pleasure of society, friendship, and love. This so-called love is lust, not love. But people are satisfied with such a false understanding of love. Vidyapati, a great and learned poet of Mithila, has said that the pleasure derived from friendship, society, and family life in the material world is like a drop of water, but our hearts desire pleasure like an ocean. Thus, the heart is compared to a desert of material existence that requires the water of an ocean of pleasure to satisfy its dryness. If there is a drop of water in the desert, one may indeed say that it is water, but such a minute quantity of water has no value. Similarly, in this material world, no one is satisfied in the dealings of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, if one wants to derive real pleasure within his heart, he must seek the lotus feet of Govinda. In this verse, Rupa Goswami indicates that if one wants to be satisfied in the pleasure of society, friendship, and love, he need not seek shelter at the lotus feet of Govinda. For if one takes shelter under his lotus feet, he will forget that minute quantity of so called pleasure. One who is not satisfied with that so called pleasure may seek the lotus feet of Govind, who stands on the shore of Yamuna at Keshi Tirth or Keshi Ghat in Vrindavan and attracts all the gopis to his transcendental loving service.
Thank you. So let me ask a couple of questions here. So what is the happiness outside? What's the happiness inside? What are we talking about? What does the happiness outside refer to? What is happiness inside?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Mataji.
I can try.
Yes,
So
please.
outside pleasure, I think it's referring to all the material pleasures with the sense
gratification.
Yeah, sense gratification.
Absolutely right.
Inside pleasure is the actual our connection to the supreme. Only that is going to bring us actual happiness, Prabhu. Not all this.
But if I put a name to this pleasure of what? Like you said, external is pleasure of senses. Got it. Agreed. Inside, what's the pleasure of? I'm sorry?
Service.
No, I'm talking about something that feels the pleasure.
Okay.
So senses are feeling the pleasure. That's I get that.
Soul.
I'm sorry?
Soul.
Soul, absolutely right. So outside is the senses, the body. Inside is the soul.
Soul.
Right? Now, when is soul happy?
In connection with the Lord's service and
Absolutely right. So there's a particular verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 6. It says, Savai Punsam Parodharmo, Jato Bhakti Adoksha. Ahatuki Apratihata, Jayatma Suprasidati. Basically defining when and how does the soul become happy. It's saying only when the soul is engaged, ahatuki meaning without any material motivation. And apatita means without any cessation, non-stop. Satatam Kirtiyantoma, non-stop. So when the soul is engaged in a non-stop, is engaged non-stop in service of Krishna without any material motivation, that is when it is happy. Why? Because whether we know it or not, whether we have forgotten or not, soul is directly connected to Krishna. May vansho jivaloke, jiv bhutaspa. It's part and parcel of Krishna, and that connection is what makes it happen. So let me give you an example. In 1973, I went back to India after 4 years in Canada, first time. And at that time, India was indeed a very, very poor country. And, Canada, obviously a rich country. So after 4 years living here, I go back to India. I land in Lucknow. What's the first thing I did? I offer obeisances and basically literally kissed the ground.
Yep.
And then I was with my family. I never felt that happiness in 4 years. Why? Because I've been here 55 years. I'm still not as connected to Canada as I am to India. Now, I don't know about you people, but I'm just talking about me. Why? Because India is my home. My family is my family. Canada is not my home. It will never be my home. I can live here. I can enjoy it. It will never be home for me. Right? So it's the same thing. When the soul is engaged in the service of Krishna, she's home. The soul is home. Soul is serving her family, her father. And there's a pleasure associated with that that cannot get anywhere. So therefore, the pleasure of the soul is a lot bigger than any sense pleasure we can ever get. Also, as we know, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Neha Vikram Nashosti Pratyavaya Nandite. Whatever little service we do, it stays forever. So similarly, whatever pleasure we get serving Krishna, it stays with us forever. And the more service we do, it keeps on increasing. And that is why Lord Chaitanya said in Shastakam, first verse, who remembers the first verse?
Chetodarpanamarjanam bhava
Yes.
bhava.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Mataji, go ahead.
No problem. You go ahead, please.
Okay. Chetodarpan Madram Bha Mahadabhag Nibhavram Shreya Kairav Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Next line is what I'm talking about. Ananda Ambudhi Vardhan. Ananda Ambudhi means the ocean of pleasure, ocean of bliss. Vardhanam means always increasing. So that pleasure, the ocean of pleasure is always increasing as we chant, as we serve Krishna. With Krishna adding to whatever point you started with, constantly increasing. So therefore, the pleasure of the soul, which is engaged in the unmotivational service of Krishna, is constantly increasing. And sense pleasure can never compare. And that's the point being made in particular verse. So therefore, anybody who's engaged in their lusty affairs with their family, with the society, with the friends, etc., it cannot compare with the pleasure you get by seeing Krishna. Seeing is service also, right? Seeing Krishna is a service to Krishna also. So just simply seeing Krishna in his three-folded form, playing that flute in Keshiva, standing under a kadamba tree. And sarcastically, Rupa Goswami is warning anybody, if you're engaged in your loving affairs with your family, society, friends, then don't look at Krishna. Because you forget your family, you forget your society, you forget your friends. You go running to him and stay there. So don't blame me, I warned you already. Don't look at it. He'll take your heart away. Right? Krishna's Makancho, but is also in the sense of stealing the heart. What's the name?
Chittachor.
Chittachor. It's also Chittachor. So don't forget. Don't forget Krishna Chittachor. If your chit is soft like butter, pure like butter, he will steal it. He doesn't steal it only because you're contaminated and stinking with all the material desires. But the moment it becomes pure and clean as butter, he'll steal it. So, sarcastic way, because I was warning all the materialistic people, don't look at them. You lose your material friends, you lose your material society, you lose your material family, you lose your material attachments. If you don't want to do that, don't look at it. Jabe, I'm not sure I understand what Jabe is. Okay, so any questions or comments? Do you understand what I'm trying to say or what Rupa Goswami is trying to say?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, all right. Should we move to 225? साक्षात ब्रजेंद्र सुत इतना ही आन जेवा अज्ञ करे तारे प्रतिमा हेन ज्ञान. Without a doubt, he's directly the son of the king of Braja. Only fool considers him a statue. So now look at the deity. Anybody who thinks deity is simply statue made of one of those 8 different types of materials, this wood or sand or clay or marble or picture oil, that is paper or jewelry or gold or brass, it doesn't matter. It's not a statue. And when the material is made of, becomes purified, it becomes transcendental. So when we look at the deity of Krishna, we're not looking at a statue. We're looking at a live personality who talks, and every once in a while he walks. You know the story about him walking, right? What's the name of the story? Krishna actually walks. Sakshi Gopal. Sakshi Gopal. Shalini, you don't know the story?
Prabhu, I think it was enacted in temple.
Yes, yes, it was. Okay, then you got it. Okay, so that's my point. And he can talk. He talked to that person before he walked. So, he can steal. This story, a very famous story about, anybody been to Mayapur?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so near Mayapur is a place called Rajapur. And there is a very wonderful set of deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra.
Yeah.
It's now actually under the control of ISKCON. It's about 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, 15-minute ride to that place. Anyway, that's a very wonderful temple. So one time a boy, 6-7-year-old boy, came running to his mother crying like anything. And she said, what happened? And he had just been at this temple. And he said, Balaram slapped me. This 6-7-year-old boy telling his mother, Balaram slapped me, referring to that deity of Balaram. And she said, what happened? She said, I got there very near the altar. And if you've been there, you know in the temple, it's very easy to get to very close to the altar. And she said, Subhadra was wearing this nice nose ring. So I thought, I'll take it. So I extended my hand to take it, but before I could release the nose of Subhadra, Balaram slapped me very hard. So I've run away, I've come to you. So this is true story. So my point is, he can talk and walk and slap too. Okay, I got the story about how he stole the sweet rice. Who did he steal it for?
For his devotee.
No, I need the name.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yes.
Madhavendra Puri.
Yes. So Madhavendra Puri. So we know that he can do whatever. If there's a statue, he can't do any of those things. So therefore, it's an offense to think that deity is simply a statue. Very much alive, does everything you and I can do, and more. Okay? So let's go to 226. Sahi apradhe tal nahi ki nistar ghor narake de pade ki boli bhaiya. So this is aparadh they're talking about, the offense of thinking that deity is simply statue. So for that offense, he cannot be liberated. So forget liberation. Rather, he will fall into a terrible hellish condition. Forget liberation, go to hell. Literally. And what more should I say? That's what I was asking. So let's read the purport. We'll talk more. Any volunteers?
Prabhuji, we all have experienced the slap.
Okay. So who would like to read the purport, the first paragraph?
I can. Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Purport. In his Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami has stated that those who are actually very serious about devotional service do not differentiate between the form of the Lord made of clay, metal, stone, or wood, and the original form of the Lord. In the material world, a person and his photograph, picture, or statue are different. But the statue of Lord Krishna and Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are not different because the Lord is absolute. What we call stone, wood, and metal are energies of the Supreme Lord, and energies are never separate from the energetic. As we have several times explained, no one can separate the sunshine energy from the energetic sun. Therefore, material energy may appear separate from the Lord, but transcendently, it is non-different from the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. So, very wonderful example given. Can you think of the sun without sunshine? Yes, no?
No.
Okay. Can you think of sunshine without the sun?
No.
So they're non-different in that sense. One cannot exist without that. One has no meaning without that. They're non-different in that sense. They're different in that sunshine is not sun, sun is not sunshine. They're different and non-different at the same time. That's the Achintya Bheda philosophy espoused by Lord Chaitanya. So the point here being made is that all the stuff like wood, steel, wood, gold, metal, picture, they're all representing energies of Krishna, material energy of Krishna. And material energy being the energy of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Therefore, metal, wood, etc. is non-different from Krishna. So when a statue, sorry, when a deity is made of any of these things, they become non-different from Krishna, especially after they've been worshipped once. And we'll talk about that. Okay. So we'll talk about the difference between a statue and a deity. Because there are statues of Krishna and there are deities of Krishna. So what's the difference? We'll talk about that. Okay, let's do the next paragraph. Who wants to read that?
I can read.
Please go ahead.
The Lord can appear anywhere and everywhere because his diverse energies are distributed everywhere like sunshine. We should therefore understand whatever we see to be the energy of the Supreme Lord and should not differentiate between the Lord and his archer form made from clay, metal, wood, or paint. Even if one has not developed this consciousness, one should accept it theoretically from the instructions of the spiritual master and should worship the Archamurti or form of the Lord in the temple as non-different from the Lord.
Yeah. So Archamurti, Archavigraha, or the deity is non-different from Lord. That's one point. So we all know the story about Prahlad Maharaj and how Lord Nityanand appeared from the pillar. So question for you is, from where did the Lord travel to that pillar at that time? From where did he travel to come to the pillar so he can appear from it?
He was always there.
Yes.
Yes, he was always there.
Yep.
Seen or not seen is always there. So it's not traveling from anywhere. Therefore, he's everywhere.
Yep.
Right? And with what feature is he everywhere?
Paramatma.
Paramatma, exactly right. Who said that? I couldn't tell.
Usha.
Usha. Hey, Usha, all right. Usha, all right. So yes, in Paramatma feature. But from Paramatma feature can change to his Vigraha form anywhere. So it's not, doesn't have to travel from. It's always there everywhere. It's just a matter of our faith, our devotional service, whether he manifests himself or not. Okay. I think in Bhagavad Gita also 9.4, Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktam. I'm present everywhere in my unmanifest form. Right? 9.4. Gayatri, why are you looking like that? Like, I don't believe this guy. Okay, all right. Let's do the next paragraph. Let's read that. Yeah, please go ahead. Gopal, go ahead.
The Padma Purana specifically mentions that anyone who thinks the form of Lord in the temple to be made of wood, stone, or metal is certainly in a hellish condition. Impersonalists are against the worship of the Lord's form in the temple, and there is even a group of people who pass as Hindus but condemn such worship. Their so-called acceptance of Vedas has no meaning for all the acharyas. Even the impersonalist Shankaracharya have recommended the worship of the transcendental form of the Lord. Impersonalists like Shankaracharya recommend the worship of the 5 forms known as Panchopasana, which include Lord Vishnu, Vaishnavas. However, worship the forms of Lord Vishnu in his varied manifestations such as Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Rama, or Rukmani Krishna. Mayavadis admit that worship of the Lord's form is required in the beginning, but they think that in the end, everything is impersonal. Therefore, since they are ultimately against worship of the Lord's form, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described them as offenders.
Thank you. It's another very interesting paragraph explanation what we're talking about. So first I was saying that anybody, 40 Padma Puranas, which is saying anybody who thinks the deity is made of wood, stone, or metal is in a hellish condition. I mean, very, very strong language. But and then it's talking about impersonalists. Who are impersonalists? What's the definition of impersonalists?
Who do not believe in the form of the God.
Okay, so those people do not believe in the form of the Lord. So therefore, they're against the worship of the Lord's form in the temple. There's no form to them. Okay, and what group is it referring to? There's even a group of people who pass as Hindus but condemns as worship. This particular group who don't worship the form of God.
Mayavad,
Mayavadis is one. There's another group of people,
Brahmavadis.
Brahmavadis, Ari Samajis, they don't believe. I'm sorry?
Yes, Prabhu. R.S. Maji also.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these are people who say they're Hindus, but they don't believe in the form of God. Okay. And therefore, Prabhupada is saying in his commentary that their acceptance of the Vedas has no meaning. Because if you recall, there's in Canto 1 of Bhagavatam, chapter 3, text 28. It says, Vasdeva Paraveda. It says, the ultimate goal of studying the Vedas is to know the Lord. So what is the meaning of these people studying the Vedas? They cannot accept that Lord is a form. Fundamental understanding is not there. So what's the use of their studying the Vedas? And then it gives wonderful example of Shankaracharya. Who did Shankaracharya glorify when he was here? One particular form of Krishna.
Jagannath.
Jagannath, exactly. Jagannath Ashtakam is written by Shankaracharya. And as Lord Shiva, which female deity, personality did he glorify?
Parvati.
I'm sorry? I couldn't hear.
Parvati.
No, that's his wife. Of course he'll glorify her. That's no big deal.
Radha.
Radha, exactly.
Radha.
What's the famous bhajan? Very, very famous bhajan.
Radha Kataksha.
Yes.
Radha Katashtam.
Yes, Radha Kripa. So that's Lord Shiva. Okay, and Shankaracharya is writing the glorification of Lord Jagannath, describing him as a form of Krishna. It's about where he is, what he's like, who he is, all that. So, and then he said, Bhaj Govindam. What's the next line?
Mudamate.
Bhaj Govindam Mudamate.
Modam.
You fool, worship the Lord Govinda. This is Mayavadi Shankaracharya said. So who are these normal, everyday Mayavadis? They know nothing. Okay. Then it says also Shankaracharya recommended the worship of Panchopasana. Who knows what Panchopasana is or who they are? Okay, so they are Shiva, Lord Shiva, Mother Durga, Sun God, Ganeshji, and Lord Vishnu. So he's recommending the worship of these five, but Prabhupada is saying for the devotees only worship Lord Vishnu. Okay. Or any other, non-different from Vishnu, which is Radha Krishna, Sita Lakshmi, Sita Ram, etc., etc. Okay. And it ends by saying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described Mayavadis as offenders because they deny the existence of the form of the Lord. As a matter of fact, there was a devotee by the name of Mukunda. To him, Lord Chaitanya refused to give darshan because he was associating with Mayavadis every once in a while. Lord Chaitanya said, when a Mayavadi takes my name, I feel as if he has taken a sword and cutting my body limb by limb. That's how strong he felt against man. Yeah, Shalini Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Next
And
one.
so, Prabhu, when you mentioned, Shankaracharya as an impersonalist, but still but he still glorifies Lord Jagannath. So he doesn't believe in the form, but he glorifies.
No, so this is my point. He said bunch of things, yes, but he never stopped believing in the form of the Lord. Right? So because he's Lord Shiva, Vaishnava Nam Jatha Shambhu, topmost Vaishnava, how can he forget? He was ordered by the Lord to go down to the planet Earth and confuse people because At that time, there was what do you call it? Buddhism going on. They denied the existence of the Vedas. So we call re-establish the Vedas, but doing it in a way that most people understand. For them, transition from Buddhism to this would be easier. So he did that, but he never stopped believing in the form. So his literature still has that, but his disciples said, no, that's not for us. So these disciples have ignored any discussion or description of the form of the Lord, which Shankaracharya did. But he himself, no, he never denied that. He's Lord Shiva.
So
I'm sorry.
Prabhu, he didn't deny it. He didn't deny it, right? The form.
Correct.
Then
but
why would he himself we call him the Mayavadi? His
That's what I'm saying.
disciples are Mayavadis.
You're right. But the philosophy he gave was Mayavadi philosophy, trying to explain the Vedas in such a way that people move from Buddhism to Mayavad. But at his heart, he was never a Mayavadi himself. He just couldn't. He said, I'll follow your order, my Lord Narayan, but you're not going to change my heart. So at my heart, I'm still a devotee. And so he wrote the Narashtakam. He mentioned the word Govinda many times and said, Bhaj Govinda, Bhaj Govinda. So in his heart, he was always a devotee, believing in full form of the Lord. But he was simply obeying the instruction of the Lord to do certain things. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. Okay, last paragraph.
I can read, Prabhu.
Please go ahead, Catherine.
Srimad Bhagavatam has condemned those who think the body to be the self as Bhoma Ejya Diha. Bhoma means earth and Ejya Diha means worshipper. There are two kinds of Bhoma Ejya Diha. Those who worship the land of their birth, such as nationalists who make many sacrifices for the motherland, and those who condemn the worship of the form of the Lord. One should not worship the planet Earth or land of his birth, nor should one condemn the form of the Lord, which is manifested in metal or wood for our facility. Material things are also the energy of the Supreme Lord.
So once again, the point is being repeated that material energy is not different from the Lord, and therefore material things are representing that energy of the Lord, therefore non-different. Okay, and then the point is being made here that, of course, those who condemn the worship of the form are condemning themselves, but also going and saying, don't worship the land as if that's everything. So it's referring to people who are nationalists or other whatever title they have. They simply worship, motherland, and that's it, and they're condemned as well. Because the only thing you should be worshiping is the Lord. To consider something superior to the Lord is simply condemned. Okay. Okay, 227. Hen je Govind Prabhu painu jahan hote, tahar charana kripa ke pare vamite. Therefore, who can describe the mercy of the lotus feet of him, Lord Nityanand, by whom I have attained the shelter of this Lord Govind? So now he's showing his gratitude to Lord Nityanand. Say, only by his mercy, I obtain the shelter of the Lord Govind. So, what role is Lord Nityanand playing here in this particular context? As far as Krishnadas Kaviraj is concerned, vis-a-vis Krishnadas Kaviraj, what role has Lord Nityanand played? A guru, a spiritual master. Right? Everybody agree? What did he do? He said, go to Vrindavan.
Go to Vrindavan.
Yeah, all your problems will be solved there. So he's giving instruction. By his mercy, Krishnadas Kaviraj seeing or getting the shelter of Lord Govind. So we say, by the mercy of Guru, you get the mercy of Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, you get the mercy of Guru. Right? You heard that? So that's what's being referred to here. Okay, 228. Vrindavan ne vaise jat Vaishnava Mandal Krishnam Parayana Param Mangal. all the groups of Vaishnavas who live in Vrindavan are absorbed in chanting of the all auspicious name of Krishna. So in Vrindavan, everybody's going, well, actually, we'll talk about that. It's not just Krishna in Vrindavan. Who is more popular?
Radhe,
Radha,
Radhe,
Radha.
Radhe Radhe.
Oh, Radhe, 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 Radhe. Right? I will
You
talk
will-
about it.
You will see on every tree you will see Radhe,
Yes,
Radhe
that's
written.
also true. That's also true. And rickshaw wala don't ring a bell. They
Also Radhe, Radhe. Go
Yeah.
aside, Radhe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting, really.
Yeah. 229. Char Pranadhan Nityananda Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Bhakti Vinay Nahi Jane Anya. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are the life and soul of those Vaishnavas who do not know anything but devotional service to Radha Krishna. So what's happening here? How did Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda become the life and soul of those Vaishnavas who know nothing but devotional service to Radha Krishna? Like, where's the connection here? Any thoughts?
Isn't it like you can't actually, you need the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to be able to have true devotional love and service attitude towards Radha Krishna.
It's true, but how does that make them life and soul of these Vaishnavas?
It's because of devotee mercy and Guru Tattva, both of them together. Is that how it is?
So can you elaborate a little bit more?
Like Lord Chaitanya came in the mood of a devotee, so mercy
Okay.
of a Vaishnava. And then Lord Nityananda is like Guru Tattva, so mercy of a Guru.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, okay, yeah, I accept that. So basically, Lord Nityanand is the how do you say? Is no, sorry, let me put this differently. The spiritual masters are expansion of Lord Nityanand. Right? Everybody agree?
Yes.
Lord Chaitanya is, as Mataji is saying, is representing a devotee. Now, and then leading everybody to Radha Krishna. So how do you feel about a devotee who connects you to Krishna, who helps you get to Krishna, who helps you engage constantly in service of Radha Krishna? How do you feel about that devotee?
Guru.
Guru, but also very close to your heart. Right? You would not want to ever separate from that devotee.
Pure devotee.
Pure devotee, of course. Pure devotee, of course. But the pure devotee is keeping you close to Krishna. Right? So those devotees who are totally absorbed in service of Radha Krishna, to them, Nityanand and Lord Chaitanya are life and soul because it's with their help that they're able to do this. The ultimate goal of life they're able to achieve because of that. Right? Lord Nityanand also said, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Lah Gaurangir Namure, Je Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Say Amara Prane. Lord Nityanand is saying, the person who's chanting the name of the Lord Chaitanya is my life and soul. Right? Same idea. Same idea. Okay, so devotees are saying same thing. Those who are pure devotees of Krishna, with them, Lord Nityanand, Lord Chaitanya, they will bring their life and soul. And that is why if you look at the past lives of Lord Nityanand, Lord Chaitanya, all the associates, to them, these two were the life and soul. Right? When you talk about Advaita Acharya, you talk about Shiva Acharya, you talk about Gadadhar Pandit, you have Krishna Pandit, Shivanand Sen, Raman Roy, Govinda, Swarup Damodar, it doesn't matter how many. To them, these two were life and soul. Right? Okay, 230. Shiv Vaishnav Bere Pad Renu Tar Pad Chaya Adar Mere Dilip Prabhu Nityananda Daya. The dust and shade of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas have been granted to this fallen soul by the mercy of Lord Nityanand. So this Krishna Kaviraj is talking now. So by sending Krishna Kaviraj to Vrindavan and arranging the association of these Vaishnavas, he's saying it's Lord Nityanand's mercy by which I received the shade and dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees of Vrindavan. Who were some of the devotees Krishna Kaviraj met? Just give me some names. Names some of the devotees he met in Vrindavan.
Oh,
Some very, very famous devotees. 6 Goswamis to start with. Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Radha Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They were all there. And they're the ones who insisted that no, write about Lord Chaitanya. Raghunath Goswami told them all the stories of the past and gave them one book. I'm talking about this earlier. Anybody remembers what book did Raghunath Goswami give to Krishnadas Kaviraj on which this book is based? Charitamrita?
Is it the notes from Swarup Damodar?
Yes, it's the diary of Swarup Damodar. All right? Okay, 231. Taha sarva labhya hoy prabhure vachan sahi sutra eitar kaila vivaran. Lord Nityanand said, in Vrindavan, all things are possible. Here I explained his brief statement in detail. So all things are possible in Vrindavan. Why is that? Why is all things possible in Vrindavan? Now,
Is it because it is a replica of Golok Vrindavan?
it is. Chintamani Prakasarnas Kalpaprakshata. Kalpaprakshata. Kalpaprakshas everywhere. Desire fulfilling, wish fulfilling. Yes. And Krishna is there directly, Radharani is there directly. What's not possible? Right? 6-day-old child kills a 12-mile long demon. That's possible. And then the same boy grows up and starts begging for butter. Right? Kills a few more demons and then gets scared from the thunder in the sky. That's to his mother. All things are possible in Vrindavan. Right? Okay, 232. Sesav painu ami Vrindavane ai sahi sab labhya ho ei prabhur kripai. I have attained all this by coming to Vrindavan. This was made possible by the mercy of Lord Nityanand. So what did he achieve? What did Krishnadas Kaviraj achieve in Vrindavan? We just talked about it.
The Agyamala to write the book.
Sorry, second Swarup.
So you told us that when he went to take the permission, he got the Agyamala from the Lord.
Yes, that's one thing he got. What else did he get? Some very obvious things.
Association of 6 Goswamis.
Absolutely association. And just in the previous verse, we read that the dust and the shade of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is more important than those two things.
And he got association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by reading the diary, right?
Yes, he did that. And he got direct mercy of Govindji, Madan Mohanji. So yeah, there's so much. And then of course the dust of Vrindavan itself. So he got a lot. So and we'll read that because you read the purport. First paragraph. Go ahead.
No.
No takers?
I can read Prabhu again if no takers.
No, it's the, yeah.
I can read it, Prabhu.
Okay, so both of you, one at a time.
All the inhabitants of Vrindavan are Vaishnavas. They are all auspicious because somehow or other they always chant the holy name of Krishna. Even though some of them do not strictly follow the rules and regulations of devotional service, On the whole, they are devotees of Krishna and chant his name directly or indirectly, purposely or without purpose. Even when they pass on the street, they are fortunate enough to exchange greetings by saying the name of Radha or Krishna. Thus, directly or indirectly, they are auspicious.
Yeah. So, point being made is that everybody in Vrindavan is a Vaishnava. So you have to be very careful when you deal with these people, not get annoyed with them or get angry with them because it looks like they're cheating. Because Braj Dham Vasi is a very special devotee. Even if they're not strictly following the rules and regulations, they're still devotees of Krishna. So actually, which particular type of devotee does not necessarily follow the rules and regulations? Who are the rules and regulations made for? What kind of devotee?
Sadhakas.
Sadhakas, exactly. Once you're beyond sadhaka stage, no rules and regulations. You can take some cashews from your pocket and put directly in the mouth of Krishna. I can enjoy it. No mantras, no tantras, no mudras required. All those things required only for the sadhakas, who's like trying to become devotee, aspiring to. So Prabhupada said many places, many times, be very careful in how you deal with Vrindavan Vasis. Don't be rude to them. Tolerate, accept. Okay. All right, next paragraph.
The present city of Vrindavan has been established by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas since the 6 Goswamis went there and directed the construction of their different temples. Of all the temples in Vrindavan, 90% belong to the Gaudiya Vaishnava sect, the followers of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, and 7 temples are very famous. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not know anything but the worship of Radha Krishna. In recent years, some unscrupulous so-called priests known as caste Goswamis have introduced the worship of demigods privately, but no genuine or rigid Vaishnavas participate in this. Those who are serious about the Vaishnava method of devotional activities do not take part in such worship of demigods.
So there are approximately 6,000 temples in Vrindavan.
6,000.
Wow.
Approximately. And of them, 7 are most famous and relevant to Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So anybody knows the 7 temples? Which ones are they?
Radha
Yes.
Mohan,
Yes,
Radha Damodar,
yes,
Radha Govind temple.
Radha Balaram?
yes.
Oh, sorry.
Radha Raman,
Radharaman, yes.
Banke Bihari,
Okay.
Prabhuji, I think it's not Banke Bihari, it's Radha Shamsundar and Radha Gokulanandaji.
You got it. That's Shyam Sundar. And so, and Baki Bihari is very famous, but not for Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, so anyways, the point is most Gaudiya Vaishnavas will go to any of those temples. Now, for ISKCON, Prabhupada said, if you just go to Radha Shyam Sundar temple, that ISKCON is you don't need to go anywhere else. He didn't say don't go, you don't need to go.
No.
Maharaj never went to any other temple, just only went to Radha Shyam Sundar temple, Krishna Balram temple. That's it. Okay. Next paragraph.
I can read, Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
The Gaudiya Vaishnavas never differentiate between Radha Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. They say that since Lord Chaitanya is the combined form of Radha Krishna, he is non-different from Radha and Krishna. But some misled people try to prove that they are greatly elevated by saying that they like to chant the holy name of Lord Gaura instead of the names of Radha and Krishna. Thus, they purposely differentiate between Lord Chaitanya and Radha Krishna. According to them, the system of Nadia Nagari which they have recently invented in their fertile brains, is the worship of Gaura, Lord Chaitanya, but they do not like to worship Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna. They put forward the argument that since Lord Chaitanya himself appeared as Radha and Krishna combined, there is no necessity of worshipping Radha and Krishna. Such differentiation by so-called devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered disruptive by pure devotees. Anyone who differentiates between Radha, Krishna and Gauranga is to be considered a plaything in the hands of Maya. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, I mean, one part is true, that is, Lord Chaitanya is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. So therefore, it's not different from Radha Krishna. So that part is correct. Now, if somebody is worshipping Lord Chaitanya, or God Nitai, let's say, Lord Chaitanya, in the age of Kali, is that recommended or not recommended? Notwithstanding what we just read, I'll come back to that point. Let's take this as an independent question. In the age of Kali, if somebody is worshipping God Nitai only, is that recommended or not recommended?
It is recommended.
Okay, so if it's recommended, then why is it saying here that it's not appropriate, it's not recommended, it's not valid? What is the difference between yes, it is recommended and no, it's not recommended?
Prabhuji, I remember I had once asked this question to you, and you had given me the most simple and beautiful answer that we should chant Hare Krishna instead of just chanting the Panchtattva mantra, because God Nitai has asked us to do this.
True, that's very true. It's very true, but there's a little more in the question as I am asking this. Here in the paragraph is saying, it's not right to differentiate between Lord Chaitanya and Radha Krishna. Okay, and there Nadia Nagari is saying that you can worship God Chandra, Lord Chaitanya, but not Radha Krishna, because Lord Chaitanya has appeared as a combined form of those two, therefore there's no need to worship.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Huh.
I can try, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, this age of Kali Yuga, it is Lord Chaitanya only who has given us the, Sankirtan, and we are supposed to be chanting the mantra. So he has only asked us to take the names of the Lord.
Okay, so that's exactly right. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, chant Hare Krishna. These people are saying, no, just say Lord Chaitanya. So clearly violating the instruction of Lord Chaitanya. That's one point. The second point is that all the scriptures are telling us that Radha and Krishna combined to appear as Lord Chaitanya, but the mood of Lord Chaitanya is to send everybody to Radha Krishna. So if we don't believe Radha Krishna, we say they're less important, then again violates the principle. So therefore, it's not correct to say, oh, I'm a bigger devotee because of worship Lord Chaitanya. There's no need to worship Radha Krishna. No. Lord Chaitanya is saying worship Radha Krishna. And if we worship Lord Chaitanya sincerely and purely, where do we go? Radha Krishna. We go to Vrindavan now. Right? So therefore, these are bogus group called Nadia and Nagari. Okay, is that clear? Any questions on that?
They sound like the impersonalists, Prabhu.
I'm sorry?
They sound like the impersonalists who also don't listen to Shankaracharya. Right?
Well, they're not listening to Lord Chaitanya, that's correct. They're not listening to Lord Chaitanya.
Yes.
Actually, there's another group called Gaur Nagaris. Their philosophy is that Lord Chaitanya is actually Lord Krishna. So therefore, we serve Lord Chaitanya as gopis serve Krishna. So they said, no, Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, you're Krishna. We're serving you as gopis. So basically disturbing the whole mood of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, so I mean, there are groups like that. So there's very, very offensive groups. So to stay away from them. Okay. Next paragraph.
I'll read, Prabhu.
Chandramata, you go ahead, please.
There are others who are against the worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinking him mundane, but any sect that differentiate between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna, either by worshipping Radha Krishna as distinct from Lord Chaitanya or by worshipping Lord Chaitanya but not Radha Krishna, is in the group of Prakra Sagajiya.
Yes. Does everybody understand the word Sahaj in Hindi? What's the meaning of the word Sahaj?
Easy.
Easy.
True.
Very easy.
How does that come about? The meaning of the, like if you break the words down, the etymology of the word. So Saha and Ja, right? So Ja means to take birth, right? Everybody agree?
Yep.
Yes, Prabhu.
And Saha means with me.
Together.
Together. So Sahaj is anything that's born or appears with me. In other words, whatever I think of, that's Sahaj for me. I make up something that's Sahaj for me. So Prakas Sahajiyas are those people who make up things. And they say that's the way to go. You with me? So they can say, oh, I'm Gopi, Krishna is Gopa, therefore I'll become a Gopa, you'll become a Gopi, we'll have Ras dance together. Or, I feel like crying in front of, so I just start crying, even though there's no emotion, just to show the people. It's Prakas Sahajiya. In other words, whimsically, they're acting whimsical. Sahajiyas. Whatever appears in their head, by the heart, they show it, is appearing now outside. Sahaji. Like almost like it's coming to natural. Because coming from them inside, their inside. Okay, so all these bogus theories, they're inventing them. Sahajiyas. Okay. All right, last paragraph of this particular text.
No one. I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I know you can. Go ahead.
Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Shri Chaitanya Amrita, predicts in verse 225 and 226 that in the future, those who manufacture imaginary methods of worship will gradually give up the worship of Radha Krishna. And although they will call themselves devotees of Lord Chaitanya, they will also give up the worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and fall down into the material activities. For the real worshipper of Lord Chaitanya, the ultimate goal of life is to worship Shri Shri Radha Krishna.
So to worship, the objective to worship Lord Chaitanya is to
worship Radha Krishna.
And anybody who either does not worship Radha Krishna because they just want to worship Lord Chaitanya, or not worship Lord Chaitanya because they want to worship Radha Krishna, they're both wrong. They both fall down to material activities. So those who don't worship Lord Chaitanya but worship Radha Krishna, they fall down. Those who worship Lord Chaitanya but not Radha Krishna, they fall down. So therefore it goes together. And we need Lord Chaitanya's mercy to get the mercy of Radha Krishna. We need to worship Lord Chaitanya to get the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. But how do you worship Lord Chaitanya?
By chanting, servicing.
Okay, you worship Lord Chaitanya by worshipping Lord Nityanand. You worship Lord Nityanand by worshipping
Guru.
And you worship Guru by chanting Hare. So ultimately it comes down to that, but that's the sequence. So we're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to please the Guru, which pleases Lord Nityanand, which pleases Lord Chaitanya, which pleases Lord Radha Krishna. Okay?
Yep.
233. आपनार कथा लिखी निर्लज्ज होइया नित्यानंद गुणे लिखाए उन्मत्त करिया. I've described my own story without reservation. The attributes of Lord Nityanand, making me like a madman, forced me to write these things. Again, humility showing up. Remember, earlier in this chapter, he said, anybody who takes my name, all his punyas will be destroyed by his activities. Anybody who hears my name will incur sins. That's the kind of humility is coming. Now he's saying, I've become totally shameless and talked about me. Like in this material world, people love to talk about themselves. You know, somebody some time ago, senior person, said to me, Rupanuga, what is the most interesting topic to you? Let me repeat the question. Let me ask you before I tell the whole story. Tell me, any one of you who wants to volunteer, what is the most interesting topic to you?
Prabhuji, I like to discuss about the God. That's it,
Okay.
Shri Krishna, Radha Krishna.
The most
I
interesting
don't
topic to
want
you?
to go anywhere now. This is the position now.
So
I
I'm
want to
looking for a standard answer. I'm looking for a very honest answer.
No,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
I'll be honest.
I am honest, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine. Okay. Anybody else?
I'll be honest, Prabhuji.
Yes.
It keeps on changing, but nowadays, because I want to lose weight, so for me, nutrition related, diet related topics are very interesting.
Okay, fine. Anybody else?
I love trying out different foods, bro. You know, so give me a new recipe, you know.
Honestly, is that the most interesting topic to you? Would you anything else?
If there was a choice to watch something on TV, I would sit there and watch cooking shows and figure out like it's true.
Talking about, okay, anyway, anybody else?
I keep talking about death.
About what?
Death.
Death.
How to prepare myself.
So what he said to me was the most interesting topic to you is you. We all love to talk about ourselves, whether we admit it or not.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, sorry. Yes, I missed that.
Okay. Now, does anybody want to agree with me? Most interesting topic to you is you.
Yes, that's very true.
Okay. Now, and before I could answer it, he asked me a second question. He said, what is the most boring topic to other people?
To talk about God.
I'm sorry?
To talk about these spiritual things. In general, I am saying.
Your view. Okay, anybody else?
No, to talk about other people. To talk about anything other than you.
Most boring topic to other people.
Talking to us, Prabhu.
To talk about myself?
Yeah, exactly. The most boring topic to other people is you.
Yes.
So the most interesting topic to us is me, us. And the most boring topic to other people is us. Right? So here he's saying that maybe for everybody else, but for me, no. And I'm very embarrassed that I talk about me. I'm very sorry. Right? I mean, talk about humility. Talk about accepting the truth. Right? Okay, so he said, and talked about me like a madman, because only a madman will talk constantly about themselves. Unfortunately, I know many madmen because I know people who do nothing but talk about themselves. I'm such a great person. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Look at me here, look at me there. What accomplished do I know? That's all I'm talking about. Right? And he's embarrassed. He said, I'm sorry, I'm like a madman. Okay, 234. Nityananda Prabhur Guna Mahima Apar Sahastra Vadane Shesh Nahi Paega. The glories of Lord Nityananda's transcendental attributes are unfathomable. Even Lord Shesha, with his thousands of mouths, cannot find it. So Krishna said also, I don't know the limits of my qualities, my pastimes. So he's saying same thing. Nobody knows, but there's attributes. They're so infinite. Lord Shesh, Ananta Shesh, I'm describing his time immemorial with millions of books. Not done yet. So again, he's saying, therefore, just taken just a little bit, just a little, and drop the ocean of the attributes of Nityanand and give it to you. Okay. And the last, every chapter ends something in a similar way. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Jar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. So who's Rupa Goswami? To Krishna Das Kaviraj?
Is it his guru?
Is Shiksha Guru. Raghunath Das Goswami, also Shiksha Guru. She's acknowledging those two Shiksha Gurus, saying, I'm always, okay, let's read translation. Praying at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Goswami. Always desiring their mercy. I, Krishna Das, narrate the Charitamrita, following in the footsteps. So it's by their mercy that I'm able to narrate Chaitanya. Following in the footsteps, I'm sticking to the topic, doing that. So what were the instructions given to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami by Lord Chaitanya? What were the 3 or 4 instructions, very specific instructions that Chaitanya gave to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami?
To find the Lila Thalis in Vrindavan.
Yes, 1.
I missed that. Prabhu.
I'm sorry?
I missed that. Can you can we repeat that
Find the
first one?
Lila Thalis, the places of pastimes of Radha Krishna.
Okay.
It's 1.
Isn't it the deities as well?
Yes, establish the deities of temples. Yes, 2. What else?
But they give
books?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, Mataji, please go ahead.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Please go ahead.
What did she say?
Write the books.
Write books, yes, that's number 3. There's 1 more.
Sankirtan movement should be.
Well, they did not really with the movement. Not, street chanting and all that. I don't think they were involved in that. It was maintain the devotees who were there. So they'll use their money saved from their previous job. And they will instruct people, encourage them, basically maintaining their spirituality as well as their life is all together, body is all together. So the 4 instructions they got specifically from Lord Chaitanya, all their life, they spend all their life following those footsteps. So Krishna started saying, I'm also following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Goswami by writing this book. Okay. And thus endeth the purport of the 5th chapter of Adi Lila.
Yes.
Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu, you said you will explain the difference between a statue and the archa form in the temple, Prabhu.
Did I not do that already? Okay. So I thought I did, but let me do this again. So this, no, actually I did that. I'm sorry, Mother, you're right. So there's something called Prana Pratishtha. Which is basically by using the mantras, you invoke the presence of the Lord.
Correct.
Done by a pure devotee properly, the Lord actually enters the previously statue, turns into a live personality, we call that deity. So that's 1. The second way is that we can take a statue. A statue is a form of Krishna or any god or demigod is sitting on your mantelpiece or in the corner of your living room or dining room or whatever. That's just a statue. But when we take that, put on the altar and start worshipping it, then it becomes a deity. That's an automatic Prana Pratishtha. Less of a Prana Pratishtha in that is not called considered installed deity, that you cannot move it and you have to be very regular, so on and so forth. As opposed to like a home deity, which is some flexibility. You don't have to do Mangal Aarti every day at 4:30. You can do it 7:30, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. You can decide to do 1 Aarti a day, you can decide to do 3 Aartis a day or 2 Aartis a day. So you make the rules, and the Lord lives by your rules. In the temple where Pran Pratishtha has been done, you have to live by the Lord's rules. So, for example, ISKCON, the Lord's rules are 6 aartis, 6 bhogas, including Mangal Aarti at 4:30 or 4 p.m. So that's the difference.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, so we'll stop here. Once again, thank you very much. Vancha kalpitarubhyascha kripasiddhibhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo
namo.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Prabhuji. Thank
Thank
you,
you. Hare Krishna.
everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, finally. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Usha. Nandimukhi, Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna.
Pitashri. Pitashri, can I call you after 20 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.